It's a beautiful day today and we're reading some more concerning but also fun Reddit stories, and I hope you guys are excited. I'm so happy you guys enjoyed the cats meowing as the swear word censor. It came out so good in that last episode and I was so excited to see what you guys said in the comments. And yeah, thank you for all the comments about that, guys. Today's a new day and a new fun episode, and we're going to read some Am I the A-hole and also some entitled people. As always, if you enjoy, make sure you subscribe if you want to, and let's get into it. Enjoy, guys. Am I the a-hole for ruining my friend's vacation? I, female 38, just got back from a vacation with two of my longtime friends, Kate, female 40, and Mary, female 38. I've known them both since university and we've always been close. The three of us have been planning this Bali trip for a few months, along with their husbands and their kids. They both have children under 5, while my husband, Jake, male 45, and I are child-free. We agreed to split the cost of a 4-bedroom villa 3 different ways, and everything seemed fine at first. Jake and I arrived in Bali earlier than the rest of the group because we had different flights. Once we got to the villa, we waited to choose rooms with our friends, and we didn't mind when they both chose the ones that had en-suites. We had a great time during the trip. Jake and I did some couples activities like massages and hiking and dinners, but we also spent time with Kate and Mary and their families whenever it worked for everybody. To be nice, I even surprised them with massages to give them a break. The only thing that made me uncomfortable was that whenever I ordered a drink, like a cocktail before dinner or a glass of wine with meals, I'd get comments like, "Oh, you're drinking again?" For context, I'm a social drinker and I don't drink often, but we're on vacation and I didn't think it was a big deal, especially since our husbands were drinking too. I just ignored the comment so I could enjoy the trip. On the last night, Jake and I made plans with the guys to go out, and Kate and Mary said they were staying in to pack. Jake convinced me to join him, and since it was the last night of our vacation, I didn't want to stay in either. We went out and we had a great time. We got home at 1 in the morning and I passed out straight after. The next morning was a bit chaotic with everybody packing and checking out, but we all made it back home without any issues. We'd booked business class seats, so we were separated during the flight, and we said a quick goodbye at the airport. A week after returning home, I got a long text from Kate saying that both she and Mary wanted to reduce contact with me because I'd ruined their vacation. They mentioned several things like me drinking every night, that I wasn't acting like a girl's girl, that I booked different flights and I didn't hang out with them enough, and that I was selfish for not helping their kids. Oh, get out of here. She even said I was just focused on partying and not acting my age. This message really hurt me. Oh my god, they're so jealous, OP. Get rid of them. Let them go. You're on bloody vacation and they're policing what you do. They're not your mum. I cried after reading it and I honestly don't know what to think. I thought I was just enjoying my vacation, but clearly they had a different view. Yeah, because they couldn't enjoy theirs, obviously, and they're jealous. I haven't responded yet and my husband's been asking what's bothering me, but I don't know what to say. Am I the a-hole for how I acted during the trip? No, definitely not, OP. Edit, thank you Reddit for all your kind words and support. Reading the responses and seeing how many of you are upset on my behalf has made me reflect on how I initially planned to handle things. I was going to apologize thinking that it might be the easiest way to keep the peace, but now I realize that might not be the right approach after all. Yeah, no, you don't have to keep the peace here, OP. I've also showed my husband Jake this post and the text, and he told me to thank you for looking out for me. He's actually pretty angry on my behalf about the text message. I showed him some of the comments that gave me insight on how my friends may have been feeling, which has given us both a lot to think about. He asked me what I wanted to do next and if I wanted him to respond to my friends for me. While I appreciated the offer, I told him I'm still thinking it over. He reassured me that he's here for me no matter what, and if I decide that I want him to step in, he would be ready to say something on my behalf. For now, I'm going to sleep on it and take some time before I respond or don't respond. If I do, I will post an update. Again, thank you all for helping me see things a bit more clearly. I feel less alone in this now. Yeah, no, you're not the a-hole, OP. Well, I don't think so anyway. The audacity of that message as well, though, that sounded so frustrating. Like, oh, we want to reduce contact with you because you enjoyed yourself? Yeah, do it. Go away. Yeah, this comment, not the a-hole. They're 100% jealous. There is a stage in life where child-free people do better hanging out with other child-free people. People that have kids can't see past their family lives and they don't understand why you might want to live your life. I've been that soldier. Whatever about meeting for coffee or lunch or dinner, traveling with them is an absolute no. Yeah, I feel like that's definitely the case here. Obviously, it's not like that with everybody that has kids, but these two 100%. They're like, oh, well, I can't go and have fun like I want to, and I'm watching you go and have fun, and they either think it's unfair or they're jealous about it. Like, oh, why do you get to do the stuff I want to do? Why do you get to have fun? And they try to make it sound like OP's doing something wrong by calling them immature and saying they're not being a girl's girl or whatever they said. Jealousy is what that is. OP said, I think you're right. I shouldn't have gone on the trip, and personally, I don't remember them being so judgmental. Thank you. The comment below that says, it sounds like they were expecting you to take on their responsibilities so that they could vacation like you. So yeah, jealousy for sure. I'm sorry that your friendship is being hit so hard. It's painful when you've been friends for so long. Oh yeah, definitely. And it is sad. But the audacity of them to be like, oh, we're gonna limit our contact with you because you're enjoying yourself when we can't, I suppose. And we don't like that because it feels unfair or something something? Like, what the hell did you do wrong? Nothing. Oh yeah, and also making a comment every time OP was drinking. Like, oh, you're drinking again. What are you, my parents? Go away. God, they sound annoying, OP. And it's so rude to even say stuff like that. They do not sound like fun to go on a vacation with. And that's the issue. They're bitter about it. They can see you having fun and they're like, oh, why aren't I having fun? But instead of being like, oh, well, you know, my children are my responsibility and having a sort of logical approach about it, they just blame you, OP, out of jealousy. That's actually so frustrating when you think about it. Like, yeah, I'm having a drink with my dinner. Shut up. And also, OP said somewhere in the comments that they never even asked them to watch their kids. Yeah, OP said here, honestly, if they wanted me to watch the kids, all they had to do was ask. Yeah, so they didn't even ask, OP. They just got passive aggressive and super bitter. Oh no, you're gonna limit contact with me? Who cares? No, you're not the a-hole, OP. And I shouldn't joke about it. I know, it is definitely sad, but it's so stupid that they think you've done something wrong, OP. Oh, you enjoyed yourself? How dare you? Post number 2 is called, am I the a-hole for refusing to wake my boyfriend up in the morning? Which made him almost lose his job. Okay, so first of all, not your responsibility. So I, 25 female, have been with my boyfriend, 25 male, for almost a year, and during our entire relationship, he struggled with waking up in the morning because of his ADHD. He sleeps through all of his alarms, which does mean that he'll be late for work. Sometimes it's only 10 to 15 minutes, but it can also stretch out to an hour. His boss likes him and has given him plenty of chances, but yesterday he got his last warning that if he doesn't show up on time, he'll lose his job. We have had a couple of discussions and arguments about this over the last year because he believes that it's my responsibility as his girlfriend to wake him up. No, it is not. But I don't. Despite me waking up from his alarms and being able to shove him out of bed, if need be, I don't think it's my responsibility. Yeah, of course it's not. He's an adult, has known about his ADHD since he was a child, and should by now have found some method that works for him. Him making it my responsibility turns me into a caregiver, a mother, instead of a girlfriend. This doesn't mean that I refuse to help him whatsoever. I've done plenty of research to find alternative methods, but either it didn't work or he refuses to do it, and I do wake him up when his alarms go off, but he decides to go back to sleep right after. Yeah, well, that's not your fault. Oh god. So you wake him up and then he chooses to go back to sleep and gets angry at you because you didn't wake him up, even though you did wake him up? Oh my god. Had he not done that, I'd gladly wake him up every single day. And I know it's only my perspective, and it's most likely not true from his, but when he decides to just go back to sleep, it makes it seem like he doesn't want to try. Not to mention the fact that he's especially grumpy and angry in the morning and have on several occasions yelled at me for both waking him up and for not waking him up. Yeah, there you go. So he's getting upset at you either way. And I don't want to help if he's just going to get mad at me, even though I know he doesn't mean it. But when his boss gave him his last warning yesterday, I felt so much guilt because had I just woken him up and been persistent, he wouldn't be in this situation. Yeah, but you don't know if that's true either, OP. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You can try all you want with your boyfriend to make him do the right thing, but it doesn't mean he's gonna. So I'm at an impasse. Is it my responsibility? Am I in the wrong for not helping? Or should he, as an adult, be able to do it by himself? Because I kind of feel like the yay-hole, but also not. Edit, I feel like I should mention more to the reason I don't want to wake him up. It's not like I can't since I'm already awake, but first of all, this affects my day too. I can't go to sleep before him because our bedroom doesn't have a door. It's a small apartment, so if he's watching TV or gaming, it keeps me awake. This means that I don't get enough sleep either, so when I have to do uni work during the day, before I have to work in the evenings, I zone out and I usually fall asleep. I physically can't keep my eyes open, which is why I wish I could be sleeping for an hour or so longer without having to worry if he got up or not. But I also don't want this responsibility because I love him. I want him to be independent, and I know we're in a relationship and we're supposed to depend on each other, and we do. But I don't want him to depend on me to get him to work on time, or to keep his economy in check, or anything that would turn his life upside down should we break up. I need to know he can take care of himself in case something happens. Edit number 2, not much of an update, but I talked to him yesterday and he has come to the realization himself that it's not my responsibility. He felt that way because he felt like a failure for not being able to do it. So like a lot of you said, it was easier to blame me. We did agree to try the wake up light, so hopefully that'll work. I'm not breaking up with him. I love him and I want to keep helping him. I made this post because I was unsure if I should have done more, or if the fact that he'd taken no personal responsibility to make a change means that I did all I could. He's well aware that he's the only one who can make a change. Neither I nor a psychologist can do that for him. He hasn't until a couple of years ago tried to genuinely take control, so it makes sense that he's still finding methods that work, but I suggested both a psychologist and finding other people with the same diagnosis as him so that he has somebody to talk to. Hopefully we'll figure it out together. Of course I'll be there for him and help him find methods, and be there if they fail, but making the effort to change is something that he has to do himself. I apologize if it seemed like I was trying to make myself a victim, as some of you pointed out. That wasn't my intention. I never know what type of info is vital, so a lot more came out because of your comments, and me not being good at describing to the degree that's needed means a lot goes unsaid and miscommunication happens. But thank you to everybody who came with advice and methods we can try. I really appreciate it. Yeah, no, of course it's not your responsibility, OP. It was super nice to read that update though. It sounds like things are getting better, and he is definitely working on it. But yeah, like this comment says, not the gay hole. If he was single sleeping alone, he'd either found a way or be in same trouble anyway. Instead of owning his problem, he tried to make it yours, and it backfired. Yeah, 1,000,000%. And the top comment too, not the a-hole. I could have written this post a few months ago. Well, except for how your boyfriend handled it. My fiance has ADHD and a similar issue. ADHD makes it harder to sleep. This can be a symptom in itself or due to the medication used to treat ADHD. This therefore can make it a lot harder to wake up and stay up. ADHD is not an excuse for OP's boyfriend being a whiny baby and yelling at her, regardless of what she does. He used to set 10 alarms on his phone and would constantly snooze them. Edit, regarding the just put your phone across the room comments, the issue was that he'd often be so tired that he wouldn't hear it. I'm a light sleeper, so that would only wake me, not him. Thought of that, but it wasn't going to work for us. But that's a great idea if you don't have a light sleeping fiance who'd bite your head off. Eventually the alarms just turned off altogether. Really pissed me off. He's always done that, but it's different when you have somebody sleeping right next to you. He got a warning from work too, but never once did he put the responsibility onto me to wake him up or get mad at me over it. He bought an alarm that can't be snoozed. He set it for the exact time he needs to get up, so he knows the alarm means time to get the up. We also looked into alarms that require you to do something before they stop, but that was a last resort in case the former idea didn't work. Edit, I asked him about it and was slightly misinformed. He does have to do something. The app he got is on Android called Puzzle Alarm Clock. You can disable the snooze function, and when it goes off, he has to solve a math problem to switch it off. He leaves the room to let me sleep while he does it, and it has worked every time so far. He hasn't been late for work since. It was hard for a couple of weeks until he built the routine though. He also sleeps longer and has a better quality of sleep without being in a semi-awake state for an hour before he gets up. Don't feel guilt for things that are his responsibility. He's a grown man. Don't let him guilt you either. If he were single, he wouldn't even have the option of somebody waking him up. But regardless, it's not your fault. Time for him to put on his big boy pants. Yeah, that's absolutely right. But yeah, once again, it does sound like he's doing that, so that's good. Yeah, and also this comment too. Millions of people have ADHD and have developed coping skills to get to where they need to be on time. Not the a-hole. Yeah, that's right. So hopefully he figures something out that works. But no, you should not be getting yelled at because of this, OP. It's not your fault. Wow, the next one says, am I the a-hole for telling my sister her baby's name sounds like a dog's name? And now she won't talk to me? Oh my god, that name you're choosing for your child? What are you, naming a dog or something? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty offensive thing to say, OP. But are you the a-hole? Let's see. My sister had a baby. I'm happy for her. Her baby's name is Rough. Oh my god. I'm gonna die. Die of laughing. Oh my god. His name is Rough. No wonder you said it sounded like a dog. It sounds like a dog. I thought she was joking and I laughed. I was wrong. She asked me why I was laughing and I said it sounded like a dog barking. Rough, rough. I thought we were laughing, but she got mad. She was angry. She said that I was being disrespectful and that the name had meaning to her and her husband. They love an obscure video game character. I told her that she can name her child whatever she wants, but people will associate it and it might be hard for him in school. She won't return my texts or my calls. My mum says that I should have kept my mouth shut. Am I the only one saying this? I didn't mean to be a jerk, but Rough? I can't be the only one who thinks this could backfire. So I told my sister that her baby's name sounds like a dog's name. Is she overreacting? I'm pretty sure you could argue that it's disrespectful to name your child Rough. Forget about you being disrespectful to the name, OP. I feel like it's pretty disrespectful to your child to call them Rough. And yeah, like every single post that we read, if you want to name something after a video game character, get a cat or a dog or something. Like, you're not going to name your daughter Princess Peach, are you? But you might have a cat and name them Princess Peach. I feel like it's the same thing here. Don't subject a human being to this. The top comment says, not the a-hole. Okay, yeah, you could have handled it better, but that's a ridiculous name for a child. I'm already cringing at the jokes that'll be coming once he's older. Hi, my name's Rough. Oh, is that because your parents were doing it doggy style when you were conceived? Yeah, that's right. I didn't even think about that. There would be so many jokes. The comment below that says, along with a rousing chorus of who let the dogs out. Speaking of somebody whose name is a song cue, the sister is the real yeah, definitely. Some of these things that people want to name their kids, like, oh, you're naming your son Washing Machine? Oh, okay. Yeah, like Washing Machine is my favorite character ever. I'm honoring that. Like, the name Rough isn't that bad, but it also is. This comment says, not the a-hole. You gave an honest reaction to an absurd name. If she didn't like how you reacted, imagine how she'll like having to deal with all the school bullying coming this poor kid's way. Kids are not accessories. Yeah, once again, that's why you name your cat something like that. Because giving your pets a fun funny name. That doesn't have any bad repercussions at all. Your cats aren't gonna bully each other for having bad names, but giving a human a bad name, that will have bad repercussions. Yeah, like this comment says, that kid's gonna have a rough life. Oh, that's so bad. But see how easy it is to make jokes about it? They're gonna be dealing with that forever, or until they change their name when they're old enough. And also, OP, do you think you're the only person that's gonna have that reaction? No. A lot of people are gonna react the exact same way that you reacted when told that their kid's name is rough. So does that make everybody who reacts that way the gay hole? No, I don't think so. Maybe they have a point. The next one is called, Am I the gay hole for ruining my soon-to-be ex-wife's life? I've been with my wife for the past 6 years. I loved her a lot. She's always been my top priority. 3 months ago, my wife came to me and confessed that she's been having an affair with her co-worker for the past 8 months, and she wants a divorce because she fell out of love with me. Ew. Here's the cheating piece of garbage of the day. We decided that we'll have an amicable divorce since we both have prenups. No matter what the reason is, neither of us are entitled to any support or alimony, and we both keep our assets. I was depressed. I love this woman and she was with some other man. I'm doing counseling and I've become an alcoholic. So almost 10 days ago, I got far too drunk and my emotions got the best of me, and I sent a text in our group chat. Everybody thought we were divorcing because the marriage isn't working out, but I revealed the truth to everybody. I explained how my wife hurt and betrayed me and she wanted to hide it. Somehow the word got out to her workplace, and because of the drama, she and her lover got fired. Now she's blaming me. Oh, here we go. Cheaters not taking responsibility for their actions. Once again, she's blaming me that not only did I ruin her career, I also humiliated her and didn't stick to the agreement, and I was impulsive. Yeah, well, maybe don't have an affair, you know? I said you were the one who ruined me and cheated on me. She kept ranting in her anger and said that she's gonna take me to court. I said go ahead, but get a job first. I think it pissed her and her family off, and now everybody's blaming me for ruining her life. Her friends and family are saying that I'm a pathetic man and I couldn't get over the fact that my wife is leaving me, so I ruined her. Oh yeah, you're the pathetic one. Do they not think betraying your partner and cheating on them's pathetic? Because it definitely is. The only one in her family who comforted me is her cousin. She checks up on me regularly and helps me. I've always been close to her. She's like a sister to me and always has been even before I got married. If I cry, she comforts me. I told her I prayed that her boyfriend will be loyal to her and never hurt her, and that if she's struggling, I'll help her. Am I the a-hole here for not sticking to what we agreed upon? It blows my mind that these people who cheat and never like, oh, well, you know, actually, maybe I shouldn't have had an affair. Maybe there are consequences to actions, you know? But that doesn't seem to cross their mind. They blame everybody else. And what, you're pathetic because you told the truth? You are literally just saying what happened. That doesn't make you pathetic, OP. The top comment says, not the a-hole. She cheated on you and expected you to just suck it up and keep quiet entirely for her benefit. I don't think I would have agreed to that in the first place. Yeah, that's a good point. The fact is that even though you broke this one-sided agreement, you did so because of the emotional state her actions put you in. It doesn't matter what her family thinks of you. They're always going to take her side. But they're no longer a part of your life that you have to take into account. This comment says, sounds like she's surprised that she won a stupid prize for playing a stupid game. This isn't your problem. The comment below that says she didn't treat you amicably in your marriage. Why should she deserve an amicable divorce? Yeah, that's also such a good point. I know I harp on about cheating people, but God, they just piss me off because they betray their partner and then they usually find a way to blame their partner. Like, where do you get off? This comment says she wanted cheating with zero consequences. Womp womp. Yeah, and this one too, not the a-hole. You don't owe your cheating ex anything. Least of protecting her good name. Yeah, how infuriating is that? Like what, you're upset when people find out about what you did? The thing that you consciously chose to do? You piece of crap. Oh my God. Acting like you're in the wrong because you told people what they did. Maybe you shouldn't have done it in the first place, you know? Ew. You did not ruin her life, OP. She ruined her own life. And that's so obvious that it bloody hurts. Yeah, this comment, you weren't and aren't the pathetic one. She is. She chose to give to another what she promised you. You did not ruin her life. She did. Just keep taking the trash to the curb and move on with your life. Also, this comment, you're being weird about the cousin. Yeah, I was thinking that a little bit too. Like, what's going on there? Okay, moving on. The next one is on the Entitled People subreddit. Entitled neighbor demands that we extend our wall and threatens to report us to the city. This is so stupid. I've lived in this house with my grandparents for about 6 years. When we moved in, we had this awful wooden retaining wall facing the neighbor's property. Her property is downhill from ours, so the retaining wall keeps our yard from washing away into hers. We found out last year the wall was rotting and needed to be replaced, so we recently had it replaced with these beautiful retaining stones. We also extended the wall past where the previous wall had been. We can't take it all the way to the street because of the city's guidelines, but it goes far enough. It could be extended by maybe 3 feet, but we couldn't afford to go any further. Well, the neighbor who we'd gotten along with until now didn't like it. She complained to us that our wall wasn't long enough and her yard was going to wash away, and she already had rivers running through her yard. We live on a street that doesn't have sidewalks, so everybody has ditches for drainage. She never cleans hers, despite having huge trees dropping sticks and leaves into it, so her yard floods when it rains, and she's blaming us for that. She then said that she could pay for them, the landscapers, to extend the wall, and then showed my grandma some brown retaining stones that she could get to finish the wall. Our wall is grey, so of course grandma said no. The neighbour said that she couldn't deal with it and didn't want to be a but she would report us to the city if she had to. My grandma said go ahead and walked away. What makes her think that she has any right to mess with our wall? Our landscapers even removed a stump from her property for her for free. She asked them if they could, and she never even said thank you. As far as we know, she either hasn't reported us to the city, or the city told her to pound sand. She's tried to make conversation with me, but I won't talk to her. I've got too much to worry about without her trying to manipulate me into talking to my grandma. Edit to add some clarification. Her yard has been damaged like that since before we moved in, and she told us as much, so it wasn't caused by a new wall. The new wall was put in by professionals, so it has a proper drainage system installed. None of the damage that she pointed out could have been caused by a new wall. We know this because it hadn't rained in the days between the wall being finished and her complaining, so there was no storm water for our wall to lead into her yard. Also, the damage was on the other side of the yard, so it wasn't even caused by the installation itself. She never told us about the water damage in her yard until she was demanding we extend our wall. If she had, we probably would have put a new one in sooner. The landscapers did get her permission to go onto her property to build the wall. The wall isn't on her property, but in order to put everything in properly, they had to use her yard. She was fine with it as long as they fixed her yard when they were done, which they did, and she confirmed that it looked great. We got all the proper permits and everything, so there's really nothing that she can do at this point. Wow, that's so frustrating because it's so obviously not because of the wall, but they're blaming the fact that their yard floods on this wall when it isn't even because of the wall. That's so annoying. Yeah, that's so infuriating because what are you even meant to do? You can tell them that it's actually because of the ditch, but they're not going to listen. Yeah, good luck with that, OP. We need to read something wholesome after what we've read today. When your funny friend Alfredo makes a joke. Classic Alfredo. Oh, that's so cute. I love stupid little harmless jokes. That's so funny, even though it's not. Anytime one of my friends tries to explain something to me that I can tell they really care about and that it makes them happy, yeah, that's so cute, and that's such a good episode too. Like, oh, you're really passionate about this. That's so nice. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful time today. And if you did, make sure you subscribe if you're not already. And the comment of the day goes to Archie's mum. I think the vote is unanimous. We all need the kitty cat meows as the swearing censor to make the horrible stories that we hear just that much better. Oh yeah, definitely. I didn't actually know how that was going to come out, but it ended up working so well. And yeah, I feel like it does sort of add another wholesome element to the episodes that we definitely need. So yeah, I'm definitely going to keep doing that forever now. That was such a wonderful idea. Okay, I'm out of here. Thank you for the support, guys. Make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!